Palestinian Authority security forces are cracking down on activists calling for an end to corruption, making several arrests in the past few months.
We were arbitrarily arrested. It is a message to silence all voices.
Amir Hamdan is an attorney and member of a movement called Enough. He was arrested last month for demonstrating. President Mahmoud Abbas's PA is accused of rampant corruption, financial mismanagement, nepotism, and a lack of transparency.
My request is simple, which is to implement established laws and stop corruption. Corruption is rampant in an unusual way. The Palestinian Authority is repressing the people despite their just demands.
Nizar Banat is an outspoken activist who often uses social media to challenge Abbas's policies and governance. We have been trying to get in touch with Nizar Banat for some time. He hasn't been answering his phone regularly. He doesn't want to be tracked by the Palestinian security forces. He doesn't stay even at home in the city of Hebron for fear that he will be arrested. We are in touch with him. We had before, but not today. And we are trying to communicate with him in order to get an interview with Nizar. We finally caught up with him.
The Palestinian Authority is repressing the people despite their legitimate demands.
Banat, who was arrested several times in the past, was arrested again soon after we interviewed him. He has since been released. He says that no matter how many times he's arrested, he will continue to speak out against corruption. His Facebook page attracts tens of thousands of followers, something that worries the PA.
There is great popular support behind me, with the ceiling of freedoms having been lowered. I'm trying to sacrifice myself and be bold. I hope this will lead to raising the ceiling of freedoms.
Abdulrahman Dahir, an actor and director for a TV channel in the northern West Bank, was arrested last month after criticizing the PA's reaction to the agreement between the United Arab Emirates and Israel to normalize relations. Ramallah-based activist Khalid Dwaykat is sounding the alarm.
Our movement is reacting to corruption that is getting worse and not being addressed. The impact of this corruption became clear with the advent of the coronavirus pandemic. The epidemic revealed the level of corruption that we have in Palestine, with deterioration in the health sector to the educational sector.
Dwaykat says there should be oversight over executive authorities.
We want a real parliament elected by people to monitor the executive authority. The executive authorities dominate the people. There is no legislative oversight.
On Friday, Abbas declared the state of emergency, the 6th time since March, ostensibly to contain the pandemic. Dr. Isam Abdin, a Ramallah-based expert on human rights law, criticizes the decision.
Coronavirus just deepens the crisis. The government is using the pandemic to suppress the people and stop the protests.
Abdin blames the international community for the corruption and for the suppression of freedoms in the Palestinian territories.
The donor states, including the Europeans, don't pressure the PA to change or compel it to make reforms. They have an interest in keeping the PA undemocratic.
He and other activists are calling on the EU to suspend financial aid to the PA's security forces.
The distribution of these funds lacks oversight, and without this, they're going to improper use.
Abdin says Abbas's policies are leading the Palestinians into an abyss.
We are definitely heading into the unknown. There are no indications of readiness for reforms. There is no one to stop this bleeding. Things go on without a plan or clear direction. This country is governed solely by executive orders.
The media line made multiple attempts to reach out to the Palestinian officials for a response, but to no avail. Mohammed Al-Qasim in the West Bank, reporting for the media line.